Yes.
Much better. Much better.
I don't know what else to say outside of hey. Smoke weed every day.
Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty, welcome back to the Triple P.
And even if you are binary,
well, you know, ladies and gentlemen are covered there.
You know what I'm saying the skip scamps, the scallywags, the glip glops, the niggas, the you know what I'm saying, the scourge of the earth. Matter of fact, the wretched of the earth.
And of course, the Smizmars.
And of course,
You can never forget the Smizmars, man.
the bald head niggas busting do-rags.
Word up. Never let it go. Never again. The waves will come back someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Look, you'll have the wave patterns one way or another.
So welcome back to the Triple P, y'all.
Stay tuned for that. Not only like new thumbnails, but as the snake or KK, the one of liquidity has been working on. There may be a nice logo coming to y'all soon.
Yes. Fan of the show and relative of mine. Asked me if he wanted a logo for us. He listened to a couple of our episodes. He liked us. I guess he's not just saying that because he's related to me by blood or that I won't beat him up. But he was like, I can make, logos for y'all. And I was like, great, because I can't really do that stuff. And he's a graphic designer, so it's nothing like for him to do that. So maybe you'll see, some variation on these logos soon.
Point is, we're still kind of working on shit, folks.
Polishing that image.
Well, shit. I don't even think we're anywhere near polishing. We're still working out the real mechanics of this shit, man. But if nothing else, we'll always have some good oil, and we'll always take y'all at least to a good diner at the end of this shit.
Yep. And God, what is the name of that diner? Fuck. The one on Metropolitan. Or not Metropolitan, the one by Lorimer.
Kellogg's.
Kellogg Diner, yep. Not
Kellogg. Well, Kellogg's, this shit in Midtown, it's not All Star. What is that?
The Starlight Diner, I think, or like some shit like that. That's around I almost doxed myself. That's near where I work.
It may have been somewhere near where you may have worked.
Yeah.
But Kellogg's, Starlight, fucking, oh shit. There was a Starlight Diner in the Bronx that we used to fuck with at a certain studio that we may or may not have owned somewhere in the South Bronx back in the day. They definitely had a pretty damn good breakfast menu. This isn't necessarily the Bronx, but shout out to first of all, what's that? El Valle, however you pronounce that. They definitely had an ill, pretty much I'm quite sure that was a Dominican situation. But I ain't gonna lie to you, Bronx has a lot of ill diners out there. So shout out to your hometowns.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Fred the Godson.
Yeah, that was a
that was very sad.
And that was a couple of years ago, but it's
he was he was early on in the COVID. Like, I think he got that first batch or some shit, or Delta, one of the two.
Yeah, no, because it was one of those, like, as soon as he caught it,
it was a wrap.
Went to the hospital. Yeah.
Sucks. So R.I.P. to him. He was so good.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Super good.
I feel like I probably heard some shit about him having like some sort of like lung condition like back in the day. So all that may have but either way, like Fred. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess it's the perfect beat to talk about somebody like him, but
Right? Like, you guys can't see me, but I'm just kind of just shaking my head like the Alonzo Mourning gif that everyone always posts. I don't remember what game that was from. I feel like I used to know, but I don't remember now.
I'm saying old man memory.
I know some NBA dork knows. There are many, I'm sure, who are just like, it's this game.
Either way.
From 2002.
In regards to like real witty, like lyrical rappers, they weren't that many that came out within these last 10 years. Keep 100. Cause like really, I remember hearing about Fred like in 2012 because of what beat was that? I think it was the Novocaine beat he was on. Yeah. It was a Novocaine beat, and he had like this ill ass like fucking like he had like this ill gamer fucking like line. It was like, yo, shorty going up, down, down. Yeah, she playing Nintendo, some shit like that. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some ill, like, and that's when I heard it. I was like, word, okay. And then like he had this other ill ass line where he was like, it was some ill like Spider-Man reference, but he did like some blood and Crip shit with that. So he was like, yeah, I read red and blue, but yeah, I'm Spider-Man, like some ill like. He reminded me like of a like kind of almost like a new age Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying? J to the, you know what I'm saying? J to the moi. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely part of my top 5. Whether that's dead or alive.
We're gonna get struck for that now. Lyrics. No, we're not. That'd be hilarious though.
You know what? And even if first of all, we'll get struck for lyrics by motherfuckers that appreciate, matter of fact, reappreciate lyrics. We won't get hit by little niggas unless, we talk about, I was about to say Lil Pump, but he got caught up on some dumb shit. You know what? I'm not going to mention none of these little niggas, because then we really will get flagged.
Or they'll just be in the comments like, his mixtapes are timeless. This man's a living legend. Talking about,
that's fine.
NBA Youngboy or something like that. It's like, all right, cool, good for you, bro.
That's fine, and they can throw any name they want to out there, and all these little niggas will always make them look stupid. So.
Yeah, but as for Fred, or I guess to kind of close out the thought on Fred, he seemed to be having fun, and those are always like the best musicians in general, no matter what you do.
Well, again, look, like Fred really was. He wasn't like a part of like D Block as we know it, but he definitely was. He was definitely like a D Block affiliate. And, well, first of all, listen, if you know anything about hip hop, rap, it's always gonna be centralized from the BX. Shout out to my co-host.
Yes.
That's where it started, and honestly, like if I'm being like really real, the two hubs of like rap music will always probably be like the Bronx and Atlanta. So. Because, well, I mean, Atlanta in regards to music in general, they've had it for like the last like 40 years. And I don't know why, but they just do. But in regards to like hip hop, the Bronx, they always revamp and reform themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It started with disco, but You know, it started with fucking Jesus. I mean, it started with a lot of fucking names that I probably don't even really know right now. But,
well, you know, Fat Five Freddy and all those dudes throwing
even
parties.
Even before that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean, they always talk about the, like the Holy Trilogy in the Bronx.
Right.
That being like big, like Herc, Bambaataa, and Grandmaster Flash. You know what I'm saying? And that's where hip hop started. And now, I'm saying, look, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got fucking Ace Boogie with the hoodie, you got French Montana, you got Cardi B, and they all make great fucking music, son. In regards to what hip hop really was and is.
And keep doing it. It's not just like, all right, I got my hit and now it's over.
And
I'm
yo,
go,
honestly,
enjoy my
again,
money,
bro, like,
you know?
like I appreciate like when we had that studio in the Bronx, because that really was my fucking. Again, I went to college, but that was my my university in regards to like hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Your sinister origin.
And it was beautiful, bro.
Or I guess
like,
more wholesome, really. There's nothing sinister about it.
Hanging around real old school Bronx heads was like ill in all types of fucking fashions, but especially in regards to hip hop. In regards to hip hop and in regards to like real gangster shit, keep 100. Because they're the ones that really were the ones that shape shit, and they're the ones that really was like, yo, honestly, the only reason I'm still doing this shit is because I pledged way back in the days. They never really said like, yo, if I could take it back, I would change it, but they would like allude to that. You know what I'm saying? And that not only taught me about music, but definitely about life.
And honor and being consistent and things of that nature.
Understanding tradition, understanding just what came before you, and respecting that shit.
Something that I don't know. I don't want to sound too old. But something that is lost today, I guess.
Lost.
Yeah,
it has been.
So I guess this is our music episode. Is that what we doing? Is that what's happening right now?
Well,
we just talking.
No. This is another
bag of fun.
No, this is another Texas Crown Fried. Well, another Lincoln Kennedy episode.
Oh, I mean, I thought it was gonna be a Jeffrey, but I guess I like the Crown Fried. You could say this is the sequel to the Peach Cobbler episode, kind of.
That and we're not high enough for a Jeffrey.
True. It's too early, or I guess late, depending on your perspective or when you guys are listening to this for a Jeffrey. Unless you're just hitting a Jeffrey as you listen to this, then I guess shout out to you.
I mean, if you're hitting a Jeffrey and listening to us, then well, first of all, thank you. As a matter of fact, that brings me back to what we always come back to. Still working on them sexy voices, baby.
For them sponsorships. It's all one puzzle piece after the other.
We definitely still looking for that main liquor sponsorship.
Yeah. Still not even Georgie. Not desperate enough yet.
No.
Not yet.
Nothing. No well liquor.
No well liquor.
Put it like this: if I've ever taken a shot of your liquor with a fucking PBR at some sort of grunge heavy metal rock show in Williamsburg, we probably don't want y'all as a fucking sponsor.
But shout out to y'all though. You definitely held it down in those outings where you're there drinking 3 PBRs and 2 well whiskeys, and then you go and roll a blunt in the bathroom.
The reality is, we couldn't drink your liquor while doing this podcast and sound coherent or logical.
Oh, nah, I'm gonna be sick. Especially, we average what, like an hour and a half? Like, realistically? Like, by minute 35, I'm gonna be like halfway out my chair, talking into the mic on the floor.
As a matter of fact, look, my cat will be looking at us both like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yep. And then she'll speak for a while, probably, you know, just to fill the dead air, because she's a good cat. And then we'll come to and have to end the episode because we realized that we passed out during the making of it, like I did during Sake Bomb. If y'all ever caught that, I don't know if I ever straight admitted to that. Did I in the episode after? I feel like I did.
No, I felt like that wasn't Sake Bomb. I felt like that was something after. That was one of like the secure tells episodes.
Maybe, but Sake Bomb, I definitely passed out briefly.
Which is why we stopped swinging sake. Which is why we stopped trying to be the sake boys.
Yeah, which is sad.
Well, no, one of us.
Yeah, you can keep going, but I guess that's like my weakness, which is weird because many of these episodes, a lot of sake was drank.
A whole lot.
Well,
sake and other
substances, but maybe that was just an off night. You know, it hit me in a way that I was not ready for. I was tired. Who knows? Who can say?
It was a long night, and yeah, it was a long night.
So what do you want to go about? There was stuff still unresolved from last time, as we referenced. Or you have more pressing business to put on the table.
I mean, there's only been a couple of other things that have happened since we last logged, but I mean, all right. Just in regards to football terms, right now, I guess the biggest thing is brother Jackson, and his contract situation. I believe he hasn't played any part of this preseason, but he has said that all contract talks will end at the beginning of the regular season. That being, we're doing this on Wednesday the 31st
now.
So, yeah, the actual season starts next Thursday. College football actually starts, I believe, this evening on this Thursday. Shout out to that. I'm hoping to make some coin off of certain wages off of this. This will be the first college football season I've ever tried to bet anything on. We'll see that. Actually, no. Football in general. Yeah, football in general. Because the only time I really ever threw any bread up was that first time I did fantasy football at a certain venue or a certain music venue in Williamsburg. But yeah, in regards to like making like real wagers, yeah, this is the first one. So I am kind of looking forward to that. Not looking forward to losing bread, but as you know, I don't jump into the dark blue sea or the deep blue sea. Excuse me. Actually, it is a dark.
It is dark.
Sea. But I don't jump into the deep blue sea unless I'm bumping on bad.
Should that be a segment where we chronicle your wagers and shit like that? Not like down to the dollar amount, but like your experience, similar to our semi-regular coverage of our basketball league the last season.
No. Well, right now, no. Only because if I'm going to do that, then we have to give the listeners some some good shit. So if I'm going to do that and it's going to be a segment, then I have to give them like my my lead pipe locks, or like my you know, it has to be some shit where it's like, yeah, I know this is going to happen.
Why not?
Because I haven't been betting long enough, and
I mean, but most of it, as we both know, is more focused on sport knowledge and, you know, that nice matchup, right?
No, it's not. It's not. That is more on your knowledge of, truthfully, just betting and gambling. Truthfully, I'm not as good as I would like to be in regards to that. I'm not trying to be a full gambler, but now, like, what you're saying, like, half of that is true. I have that half, but I want to become more savvy with the betting half of it.
I get it. I too am woefully inexperienced in that end of things, even though I have the knowledge and the savvy or whatever of the other half of things, the sport knowledge. What I can appreciate about betting and the information available is that before, like, your bookie, like, oh, like, here's a hot tip about, you know, this guy or whatever. Like, it was, a lot of this information was just hard to get game time, and now you get everything. You get, you know, the last 5 games. You get what the injuries are about. You get how they feel.
Up to date.
If they're on Twitter, you can go see what they're upset about today. You know, if you want, in real time. And that's very useful compared to when I started playing fantasy like 15 years ago, on and off, where you just kind of had to rely on the numbers and internet rumors. And, you know, rumors still sway things now, but, you know, it's really helpful to know when your players are out for the game and stuff like that.
The last 3 nights, there's been fantasy draft parties at my job, and the last one from yesterday, they really had like a full-on like chart board. They had stickers with every player's names on them, son.
Wow.
Okay, and towards the end of the night, like, one of the bartenders, he had like a couple of the stickers that were left over, and we were laughing at that shit, son. Now,
so
look,
it was the league in real life, basically, like.
One of my favorite movies of all times will always be Revenge of the Nerds, but even within that realm, I had to be like, yo, y'all are some fucking nerds. I play fantasy football, bro, but
that's a ritual.
I don't know if I'm going to pay $250 to run a spot out for us to have a fucking fantasy football draft, son. No, you saw, like, we did the NBA fantasy draft, bro, and none of us ever saw each other, son. I was at the crib. You were just.
I was at work. Like, I didn't even get the chance to, like, get off work.
Point is, nobody is paying $250 or $300 to run a spot out. It don't even matter how long it is, bro. Like, nobody's renting a spot out. We may do it at somebody's crib. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I want to do a real live draft, son, because I don't think I care much. Like, even if it is football, son, I don't care, son.
I feel like if it was one of those spur of the moment things, like it just happened to work out, that y'all got together, then it might be fun.
Even that, bro. Like,
but I enjoyed.
Somebody will have to plan that. So.
Yeah, and house it and all that. But I enjoyed, again, our process, because even though at work I made some crazy picks, like, I was still able to participate. Whereas in the past, like, if you missed the draft, you missed it, even if it was online. Like, you just
and
missed
look,
it.
If I'm being honest, son, like I just told you, they just I don't think season starts this Thursday. It'll be crazy if it does, but I don't think it does. But point is, every team had to cut their roster to 53 men, I think, today. Do you know how many fucking fantasy fucking drafts have happened within the last 2 weeks?
Thousands.
Exactly.
Easily.
Exactly.
Easily thousands.
And that's why I'm like, all right,
It'd be like you remember in 2K when trade season was on. Yeah. And the deals would get made, and then we would just be sitting there, like, moving all these players around, trying to get them on the teams that they're on now, making better deals or worse deals in some cases.
Yeah.
And it was just a nightmare. Like, it was fun from that dork perspective, but I think you're right. I don't know. Like, I like doing dork shit with my friends, but that's a lot. That $250 could have gone to food. Like you said, at somebody's crib.
No. I mean, look, clearly they had food. They had, whatever.
Yeah, they had everything. Like, again, it's a party to them. It's a ritual to them.
Point is, you rented out like a private pool room for $250 on a fucking Monday to do a fantasy football draft.
Not to mention the time that it probably took, and depending on if they printed it themselves or if they got it printed.
Nah, bro.
To print up every player's name and all defenses and shit. Like, you imagine how long that must have taken?
I did 3 of them shits when me and the fam was out in PAs, and 2 of them I auto drafted, even though I didn't want to. And that's how easy that shit is, bro. Clearly, I'm not staying in those leagues. I don't want those teams. I'm on a totally different wave. The 2 teams I have now, I enjoy, so we'll definitely discuss those throughout this upcoming season.
There you go. So that's the answer. We're gonna see it. I guess we're not doing NBA again.
No, we always doing NBA.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. We definitely wait. These niggas I do the fucking the league with, as you know, they'll definitely hit me up, and since you were part of that last year, they'll hit you up.
Damn right, I need my vengeance.
I've done this shit 2 years, and I skipped the year before last year because of what,
It wasn't a real season.
Nah. Well, honestly, they weren't hitting me up about it, so I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
But, as a matter of fact, just call me Maury23 for this season. So. They said it was the last dance. I'll just call this the last 2-step.
Well, since we're on the fantasy tip now, we're gonna do some dork shit. Which player are you picking first?
You know what, bro? Like that honestly, that's really not a hard fucking question, bro. The same nigga I picked first overall, same. So it's gonna be the Greek Freak, son.
Always a strong pick.
And again, my first pick has to be somebody that's gonna give me numbers, that's not gonna be injured.
True.
Well, you know what? No, I'm lying. Okay, because somehow I got the same 2 picks. My 2 years doing that shit. The first year was clearly Giannis. Last year I got Luka, but for some reason these niggas left Giannis out there. So. I still don't remember how, but and yet I still get questioned.
I guess the only thing I can speculate is that there was some concern because he's finally getting hurt here and there. But
that and both those times, for whatever reason, I got the first overall pick. I don't want that. Honestly, I don't want the first overall pick. So.
Honestly, in my experience, although limited, I like that first 5. Like, I don't know if I could go first because it's a lot. I like reacting to.
Not even first 5. Give me like first 7.
I like reacting.
7 or 8.
I like reacting to the other people's picks because then I feel like I could really structure my team from there.
The first 7 or 8 in the snake draft. Well, first time I ever heard it was the serpentine draft. I prefer that name because you're the snake, but
it sounds cooler too.
Well, serpentine sounds a little bit more like you on some James Bond shit. Serpentine draft,
especially in those bottom picks in the later rounds, you are trying to come up with 2 picks back to back, and you don't even want any of them.
But again, that's where most people mess up because that's where you have to learn where you either learn how to double up or you learn like, all right, I need to capitalize on this because I'm not going to get a pick for a long ass time. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that was the basis for my picking of Drew Holiday, because I was shocked that he was still on the board when he was.
But it's what? You got Drew Holiday in the wrong year.
Yeah, I mean, he still balled out anyway. That goes to show how good he was. And I was right. Like, my logic was same as Malcolm Brogdon. Banged up ass team.
No.
The point was before they even started getting banged up.
All right, no. Fuck all that. Are you picking Malcolm this year?
Nah, he's a Celtic now. It's weird.
Even though he may get right.
I felt that's what was my logic last year. He may get right. And then he did.
But he's on a way better team now.
It's really up to how they monitor his minutes, really, right? And you know they're going.
It's how like.
And you know they're going to, but
he has to play pure point guard now.
Yeah, he does.
Now, and again, the question is, can he really do that?
Yeah, especially as long as he develops the 3 more, and you have to close out on him because he can just drive past you.
Now, look, for me,
he's another slasher that team needs. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's the point guard
and
they need.
And their guard depth is weak, and he shores that up. The only problem is, as I've mentioned countless episodes, even though I've been riding for this nigga for 3 years now, can he stay on the court?
Several years.
Can he stay on the court? Like, if he's on the court, then he's killing you.
I still feel like he's not on the right team, but we'll see.
This might be it.
No.
He definitely fits them.
Is he the right guard for that team? Yes. But is he right for that team?
It's hard to say.
Or does he really want to be on that team? That's the better question.
I think so. I think he recognizes that his value has dropped significantly. And
not really, because how high was his value really?
Fairly high as a guard who could scar.
Once he left Milwaukee, his value clearly
dropped tremendously, but not so much so that the Pacers realized his potential to that team. And again, had he stayed on the court, I think he'd still be on the Pacers. Like, that's really what it comes down to. This dude was balling out when he could.
The Pacers have, they've been a very dysfunctional franchise.
Especially him and Tyrese Halliburton. That's a real nice combo.
Honestly, bro, the Pacers have been very a dysfunctional franchise since your man Reggie left, bro.
And Larry tried to coach and then tried to be in the front office and.
Even when they brought Donnie Walsh back. So.
In a lot of ways, he is akin to Jordan in that. I get that that's your home state team. I get that you are Larry Legend. I get that you want to establish something for yourself in the front office or on coaching because you're a basketball ass nigga. Also, you're getting old, so your time's running out to be able to do this stuff actively. I don't know why I suddenly am starting to talk to Larry, but
well, because you're a Pacers fan.
Just leave the team alone, fam. Let them blow it up. Build around Halliburton and young talent. I don't know when this became a Pacer advice thing, but to answer the Bandits question, am I taking Brogdon? I don't know. Maybe in later rounds. I feel like because his value is taking a hit, and because he has this reputation, he's injury prone. Like, it's nothing against him. I never knock a player for injuries. He's injury prone. when he's on the floor, he's magical. But when he's hurt, like, it's a minus to whatever squad he's on because he's a quality starting guard in the league. I guess now you see why Milwaukee didn't keep him. But, man, like, I feel like he's too young for it to be, like, just over for him already or that he's washed, which is stuff I've heard. I mean, you know, everyone says that dudes are washed, like, after 3 bad games. So, you know, whatever. But I want him to succeed, as I've said about so many sports figures that we've talked about over these 2 years. He's such a good player. You don't hear anything bad about him other than he's hurt. You know, he was just new Victor Oladipo, like, for that team, which is a shame. It made me wish that they had blown it up 4 years ago, because they'd be recovering right now with young talent and draft picks. Without on-air research, I couldn't tell you what their draft pick situation is right now, but it's not good. And blowing it up makes me nervous, but that seems to be the only answer. I know we were talking about fantasy, but, you know, you told me to explain. So am I picking him in the later rounds? Probably. Because he's going to be on the wire. You know he is. Especially in the later serpentine picks that we were talking about.
And the wire is always where you get right in fantasy.
Yeah, I was going to say that a couple minutes before. The reason that I managed to be so successful against opposing squads whose talent quotient was just so much higher than mine, with top 20 players
mostly
all over
mine,
the place.
But whatever.
You know. Yeah, but you had more talent than me by far. Like, in terms of all-stars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, honestly,
my team was mostly just a lot of mid-carder, you know, really solid players who can score
regards
just
to, like, last season.
My best player was hurt all year, he wasn't. That was Joel Embiid. The guy I expected to be my best player in Damian Lillard was hurt all year. So there you go. You know?
I had 4 of the bangers, 4 of the main bangers in fucking like this last season, but I guess the Lightskin Magic worked against me in that one. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Or there was just too much niggerishness on the side of our fellow opponents and friends to counteract your Lightskin Magic, man. They weren't gonna let you steal it from them. There would be no banditry in this league. So. Once I saw that Julius Randle deal didn't go through, I was like, oh, no one's trading anything ever.
Well, no. Even that was that pretty much was when things had already revealed themselves and so on and so forth. But I'll just say, you know, I'm great at fucking drafting.
You are, which is why I'm stunned as to why things turned out. I just do what I always do in these things, which is just use my strategy.
Yeah, you were at work.
You know, I was literally at work, like checking people's bags for weapons, and then like going off and checking my phone. Really, the mid to late season is where I flourished because, again, I just drew upon past experiences in drafting and feasted on the waiver wire, especially as far as teams like the Pelicans and the Bucks and the Hornets. All types of like middle of the road teams just have these really solid up and coming young players who, you know, they get buckets, they get steals, they know how to flesh out the stat line so well. Not that that's what they're playing for, but it's nice to have like a guy like Herb Jones realize that he's a good player. I mean, I'm sure he knows he's a good player. It's nice for me to realize, let me correct myself here, that he's a good player and that he will be a good player for that team, assuming everything goes well as far as his health and stuff like that. And that's the beauty of fantasy, to learn about new players and new squads and stuff like that, because, you know, we on this show have made fun of New Orleans as being like this puzzle piece team that has nobody, and this season showed us that, one, you know, B.I. Brandon Ingram is out here. 2, I mean, we knew that, but man, two, that the young boys on that team are here to play. Like, their identity is like smothering defense because they realize, all right, we have one or two incredible scoring options, and that's what we got. And maybe Zion will come back someday, maybe. But seeing Jose Alvarado, Grand Theft Alvarado, play as well as he did was magical. And then being able to pick him up because no one had him off the wire, like, was so. It's so exciting to like be right. That dopamine hit of like, yeah, like my strategy worked. And of course it ended in heartbreak, as I have chronicled thoroughly now. What was that, 3 episodes ago, I believe. But so I won't go into that. And to answer my own question, if it's not necessarily if I get the first pick, but who am I picking first? I'm probably picking John Morant first. Maybe Steph Curry, one of those two, because you
wild out on both of those, but
it's easy to go with a safe pick like Kevin Durant, who's going to have a high usage rate, or Damian Lillard, who's going to come back with a vengeance, or
the first overall pick is somebody that you have to trust all throughout the season, postseason,
and beyond, wherever they're going to take.
So it's not about making the safe pick; it's about making the right fucking pick.
Well,
that's the first overall pick.
I mentioned that because in our league and other leagues I've noticed or have been a part of, myself included, like those first 7 picks, people made the safe picks instead of like really trying to build an interesting team. Like, because
you have to. You have like.
Yeah. I'm not saying like pick Draymond Green, first overall, but it's sometimes those funky choices that
first pick has to be the foundation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, then you can play around. But that first, like, there's a reason why more times than not, the first overall pick in football is a fucking quarterback. Because if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have shit.
That's everything. It's the vision of the team. The offense is slotted around this man. How the O-line runs depends on how this man moves around the field.
Back in the day, in the NBA, that you could say that about like having a big man, a center.
Yeah.
You have a real true center. These days, like, I would like to say that about the point guard, but it doesn't really resonate the same way. Nah,
because there are a lot of teams that have guards that are good.
And we went through the era of the volume guard, whether that's shooting like a 2 guard or a point guard.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways that guard is still very much here.
So
that's why I feel like the point guard or the guard spots, yes, incredibly important, but
your most favorite guard right now has a lot of fucking Agent Zero in them.
Yeah, he does.
And they say we're in the
I don't know. I got a lot of favorite guards right now, but I know we're talking about John Morant because I mentioned him. But like,
regardless,
not SGA. Like, I could go down the list, man.
They
and
all have Agent Zero.
And these are guys I'm probably gonna pick on my team.
Now, for the last, let's say, I won't say the last decade, but even like, let's say like the last 4 years, it really has been the era of the point guard. Era of the point guard and like the alien fucking like.
I would even argue since 7 seconds or less, it's really kind of been the era of the guard. Because of how
it was about to be, but LeBron kind of shut that.
But he's a guard. Essentially, he just starts at the 3 and the 4 sometimes. But
he's a forward.
LeBron
is a forward. He plays like a point guard, but he's really a forward.
Yeah.
Just because of his overall game. And again, that's based upon real stupid ass old school fucking I guess principles and I guess just job description. But again, that's why like dudes like J Kidd, like they pop because J Kidd and other dudes that were like not just getting assists, they were getting rebounds, they were truly,
they were doing everything. They were
not like they were truly running the break.
They were leading the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Floor. You heard the term floor general more and more.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, there was a lot of dudes in the 80s that didn't get their credit for that. And that has a lot to do with fucking Magic and Isaiah. But, of course, they were going to outshine everybody else. But towards, like, the late 80s, you saw a lot of those dudes, but they didn't have, like, that same athleticism as, or sheer fucking stature as Magic. They didn't have the athleticism as Isaiah or the stature of Magic, but you saw a lot of point guards trying to mold themselves in that elk. You know what I'm saying? Like, still haven't watched it, but that New York point guard shit, I'm quite sure they touch upon that, because honestly, you would say like it was like probably like the 70s and like that late 80s into the 90s era where the point guard started to really play. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like that's when you started molding motherfuckers like Allen Iverson and Steph Marbury and one of your favorites, the franchise.
Shane Douglas?
The Pittsburgh Plunge. No.
I don't know. Shane Douglas looks like he could play on the low. Got the J, white boy gunner. Maybe he bully you in the paint a little bit.
No, you know what? Yeah, he does seem like he may have been like a white boy version of PJ Tucker.
Word up. Exactly. But like Morris Felt, he would be a forward. He'd start at the 3, perhaps.
Yeah, like a smaller,
a little swing man. That's a 2-3 guy.
That's what we doing, son. We doing the old ECW team.
Not now. I wanna stay focused. Although I'm tempted, but no.
That would be a hard one. It would be a hard one. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna write that idea down so I don't forget it. But I just to return to fantasy and again to return to this notion of guard play. Guards, man, like I feel like we're coming to the age of nuance for guards. We're returning to the era of like, not returning. There's always been tempo guards and special guards and different types of things that guards do. But I feel like that's getting recognized again because people are starting to come out of that. Oh, all guards do is shoot threes and make plays.
Bro. All we're doing is we're coming back to, and you know what it is, and anybody that studies history knows that history repeats and recycles itself. We're coming back to the 60s right now. When you talked about like Jerry West and fucking Elgin Baylor and fucking Big O, that real guard, like hybrid fucking forward play, we were in that. Now we're really getting back to what basketball kind of always was, which is the land of the big man. We're getting back to the era of the centers are saying like, all right, nah, fuck everybody else. We need to be the ones to dominate this shit.
And also, it's just an adjustment to the fact that now perimeter defense is king. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and again,
because on any team that has even a serviceable center, shout out to Rudy Gobert, overpaid ass.
If you have a center that can average,
that has gravity, you know what I'm saying? Any level of gravity.
If you have a center that can average anywhere from 9 to 11 rebounds, you're good.
You saw what Joel was doing to him all year. And that was, and I don't want to shit on Joel because again, he was my number 1 pick, my best player all year.
Joel is the best center in the league.
Definitely got me. Should have won MVP, but I again got why Jokic won because this nigga again was putting up historical numbers.
Should have got MVP and the scoring title.
And his team was bruised as fuck too, and he managed to like drag them into
carry
the playoffs.
Them.
Literally dragged the bloated
throughout all
corpse
types
of the Nuggets.
Of drama. Look, for the last 2 years.
Yep, but this year was tough for him, like because it was just him practically.
And the only reason they slipped is because he got injured again.
Mm-hmm. And their guards took a hit. You know, Will Barton as usual.
And
Will
he got
Barton
he got a fat James Harden.
Exactly.
It was a lot, but
to go back to my point about Joel,
this dude was so good.
Too good.
Averaging 4 to 5 assists, but will have 3 turnovers to 4 turnovers.
I need Joel to. I need the process to finally leave Philly. So.
Do you think? I guess that latches onto a quick question because we talked about this before, many episodes ago when we talked about who should leave.
We said Ben, of course. But do you think
it should have been a trade straight up?
Do you think it was a mistake to trade Joel for high value and just blow the team up?
No, you don't do that. No. Straight up, I'm trading Joel for DeAndre Ayton. Straight up.
Then, not now.
Then, now, and forever.
Now as well.
Then, now, and forever.
1 for 1?
Straight up.
DeAndre ain't worth Joel.
He good, but
I know he's not. But at the same
Pacer
time,
deal was more his level that they botched.
Look, we could say Joel. No, we could say DeAndre and maybe 2 first rounders to Philly, but again, I would have given up KD straight up for fucking DeAndre had the Nets not been on any bullshit. So.
That's a different situation though, because
it is, but it's not.
You're doing addition by subtraction. You're giving the man what he wants, which is great. You get him out of your division. So
you can say that in both situations, though.
Yeah, because DeAndre was very much disgruntled because they fronted on him.
And the reality is, bro, do you see the Sixers winning the championship?
As they are now, fuck no.
Okay, then. So
they might win the Eastern Conference though. You just raw talent, like alone.
Send DeAndre to a young team that he can really fully develop with. Then you send the process to a
contender, yeah, like an elite,
a much
contender.
More polished team. Then he gets a chance. He gets a chance to play with a pure point guard that he's never fucking played with.
And to further your point, he bolsters the team because he's a playmaking center that can can hit threes.
He's not gonna bitch. No, I'm not.
I don't think so. I think with that presence of Chris Paul, you see what happens when dudes want it and are playing well with him, and how that goes.
That is true, but at the same time, we're talking about dudes that were developing when Chris Paul showed up. Yeah. Chris Paul has never had a dude that was already an established veteran that came to his team.
Yeah, you're right. Holy shit. That's wild. But I guess that's because, again, it's about the image of Chris Paul, right? Chris Paul is the plug-and-play point guard who can basically play with anybody. And so why would you need other talent when you could just develop the talent with him?
Well, honestly, no, because had David Stern not been David Stern, it would have been Kobe and Chris Paul back in 2011.
Yeah.
And God knows none of us.
Isn't that crazy? Like, out of all the crazy deals that the league is allowed, they didn't want that to happen. They're like, nah, that's too much. It's too
Instead, they gave Kobe Dwight Howard.
An injured Dwight Howard, no less.
But nah, to his credit, Dwight, after his back got right, Dwight became Dwight again. So.
Even when he was hurt, he was still, I say this all the time.
No, matter of fact, once he got rid of the headband.
Yeah, the weird Popeye headband that he tried to bring back. But
I say this, I've said this constantly to you and others.
Because again, they front on Dwight, as we talked about in talking about that Rusty Buckets video earlier. Go watch that Rusty Buckets video. I guess I should link it
in the description about Dwight Howard. But
this nigga Dwight looked like DJ from Street Fighter when he was busting that headband.
He did. I'm just saying, for a guy who's basically hurt and had been playing hurt for years.
Now again, these back injuries.
Also carrying Orlando on his back. I'm sure that didn't help.
And carrying Stan Van Gundy.
So, despite all that, and getting slammed in the media for being soft and not able, he doesn't have it, pal, all that shit.
Goes on to average 18, 12, and like 2 block or some shit, like a block and a half, like hurt in the Western Conference in a division that was real stacked at the time.
And he's considered a smaller center.
Yeah, exactly, and a not as smart center. Like, there's a lot of these things that, like, again, I still personally pin it on the fact that he liked cock or whatever. I think that didn't help him. And again, no judgment on Dwight Howard for liking cock, allegedly. But
honestly,
I feel like that really...
honestly, nobody really even brings that up. They just bring up the fact that he's a goofball. They don't bring up like
they were always bringing that up too. You smile too much.
And he plays too much.
Yeah, you play
They don't
too
think
much.
he's serious.
You don't take
that's always going to be his.
But he's shown that. He's shown that when it mattered, he was there. And that's the same thing Shaq always says when people call him a clown. Oh well, I make the free throws when it matters, or you know, I showed up when it, and that's true. He did. You know, I'm not taking that away from him.
But so Shaq has 3 straight fucking Finals MVPs.
Yeah, but I also had Phil Jackson. And, you know.
That's cool, but he also averaged, 40 and 20 in the finals?
He made it fucking happen. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't have probably done it without him. That's just what... And his defense. And I meant to mention this earlier when I was comparing Shaq and Dwight. You never heard Shaq bitch about doing, like, the dirty work defensively, like screens, stuff like that. And more often than not, that's just a free bucket for him. You set screen, catch a ball inside, that's it. They can't stop him. Like,
or he would pass it to the open 3-point shooter.
Exactly. Just drop it right to the cutting Kobe or whatever guard cut to the basket. Like that. I always thought that was so good. Like Shaq himself was also maligned for not being smart or whatever. It's also his voice and the way he sounds. But like,
nah, it was really just because he was so big. Man.
That too. But it's interesting. And again, a clown. But it's interesting how the perception changed when it became about this smiling ass dude, Dwight Howard, who should have been a way more athletic version of this dude. I also feel like Dwight is sensitive and did not like all of this. Everything. All the stuff we just mentioned on his shoulders and not talking about what a great player he was for essentially 4 years straight. An elite, the best big man in the world, probably.
Dominant.
He won Defensive Player 3 years in a row.
Dominant.
Who does that?
Man,
with competition, like, you know, it wasn't just him and everyone else. Like, there was competition. He still won 3 years in a row.
Even if you used him in 2K, bro, it was like, all right. You still knew, like, regardless of anything, he was the best center in the fucking league.
Shit, to further your point, if you used him in 2K recently in the last few years, he's still defensively an ill threat. He scores. He's good. Like, he's pretty good.
Look, if
you have injuries on, he's gonna get hurt, but he's still pretty good.
Look, I'll put it to you like this.
Still
bro.
surprised the Hawks took a waiver on him personally, but whatever. I guess they didn't want to poison the locker room.
If this nigga signs to the Nets tomorrow, son, then they have to be the fucking favorites. Shit. They have to be. Son.
That's a good pickup. I don't know about favorites.
Who's beating them?
In the East, Milwaukee still.
No, in the whole league, bro. Who's beating them?
Denver still.
No.
Any player that can outsmart that dude.
Nobody's doing that now.
He's not as fast.
It doesn't matter.
It comes
bro.
down to.
It does not matter because he gives the Nets exactly what they need.
I mean, he's still a 16 and 12 player. Like, that's crazy.
They don't need him to be that. All they need is a defensive presence in the fucking post.
If he gave them 12 and 12, they would be overjoyed for that. Like,
he don't even have to give them that.
And
bro.
2 blocks, 3 blocks.
Just to make sure nobody hits the paint.
And not be LaMarcus Aldridge. Pretty much it. Like, that's it. You know, just stay on the court. To defend him further, I feel like, at least in the games that I've seen him in, yeah, he still smiles, he's a clown, whatever. But you see him bolster his teammates. You see him talk to the young teammates. You see him try to really extend some level of knowledge to
He's
them.
a veteran.
You know what I'm saying? He won a chip that he was a part of. Like, it wasn't he was riding the bench. He gave them defense. He gave them depth that they did not have.
Not to mention, he provides another flavor of championship. Let's just call it championship flavor, as opposed to KD and Kyrie, because he wasn't one of the. Well, all right. he was one of the main proponents for that Lakers championship in the bubble, but he wasn't one of the main names. Unlike Kyrie or KD.
But you also know why that is. Like, one, that season was crazy because people were just
even
going
beyond
off.
that, even beyond that, son.
But defense just does not get the due. Like, defense won the Lakers that and ref calls, but defense really won Lakers that championship. Seeing the way they paralyzed the Nuggets was a thing of beauty. Like, I was hating this team, but seeing how they did them was so crazy.
Bro, that year it was not hard to paralyze the Nuggets because they were very one fucking dimension.
But at the time, they were the hottest team in the bubble. And seeing
they had the hottest dude in the bubble.
Well, dudes.
No, dude. One dude. Just, it was the one dude that was hitting.
Without Jokic to pass out the double team to set up those open shots, what happens?
First of all, no, he was not setting up those open shots. Jamal Murray was just hitting wild, crazy-ass threes that was winning the game.
To win games, yeah.
Jokic was no part of that, bro.
Yeah, he's heaving,
he was no part of that.
But again, the mystique of that, like, frightened people, you know what I'm saying? And then he had a decent amount of backup behind him to do so. But again, they don't play defense.
Yeah, no.
So, but that's something, they don't play defense, all they can do is score on you. Like, in the half court especially, which is valuable.
That Nuggets team got lucky, bro. That's all
I'm with you. So again, when they got to a real basketball team, granted an anemic one, but still a real basketball team that actually has IQ, you saw it happen.
Or just a team that can match up better. You know what I'm saying?
And they did. But I'm just saying, it would be easy. It would be easy for them to just kind of roll over and let Jamal get his buckets, and they defended him pretty well. The hottest, like you said, the hottest player at the time, and they made him look normal.
That he finally cooled off.
And you know, Bron, that too, but Bron also does what he does, which is
no.
He isolates on the best player and he freezes them out.
That Lakers team was a way better defensive team because you still had you had Alex Caruso, you still had fucking you still had what was that, KCP, that was a very ill defensive Laker team. And anybody that was logical fronted on them at the beginning of the season because we didn't see that fucking pandemic happening. Because everybody was like, yo, bro, how are they going to beat people because they can't shoot threes? And they can't really score, but they were ill defensively. And the one thing that needed to happen for them to win happened. And then you saw what happened after that. So.
Yeah. Momentum, you know.
Momentum. Hunger, and just the right fucking circumstances.
Yeah, but you can say that about all the hot teams in that bubble, you know, or even early on with the T.J. Warren-led Pacers, or the Heat, who was cooking everybody, like seemingly looking invincible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
those were the two hot teams in the bubble, the Heat and the Lakers.
Yeah. And then seeing contenders like the Bucks just crumble, you know what I'm saying, under those interesting circumstances.
No, the Bucks were injured.
And seeing, yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, it was so exciting to see basketball turn on its head, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like because they were isolated in the ways that they were, it allowed them to focus on basketball besides, you know, Lemon Pepper Lou and guys like Daniel House and people like that who snuck out of the bubble. But aside from those anomalies, you know, you saw how Phoenix Suns developed camaraderie, getting head from the same girl in the hotel room, stuff like that. Like, I joke, but like clearly that bonded people because then the Suns were smoking boots like that first half of the bubble. You know, and that continued in the years after. You saw how the team gelled as a result. People want to say it's Chris Paul, but it wasn't just Chris Paul. Clearly something clicked for them in that vacation.
That was Chris Paul.
A lot of it is Chris Paul, but something clicked for them in that vacation.
No, bro, because that was a very immature fucking team, bro.
And they're still super young now, and now they play for each other. They ride for each other. You know what I'm saying?
And still, nobody wants to go to that team, so.
Because of fucking Robert Sarver. Why would you?
No, and honestly, because of Chris Paul.
I'd even deal with that. At least he gives me a chance to win. But my owner doesn't. If I'm getting, let's say again, they somehow put together a team, or DeAndre, this is DeAndre breakout year, whatever it is that puts the sun over the top.
It's old Chris Paul.
I
It was
understand.
young
That.
Chris Paul and.
I'm just saying, we waved the magic wand. Chris Paul has a magic season.
Bro,
Whatever
we
the.
can't, bro, we're talking about this next coming season.
Mikal Bridges, whoever the fuck shows up for them in a way that matters. Devin Booker decides to be the best player in the league. Whatever. There's opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Robert Sarver will still find a way to fuck that up. It's not Monty Williams. It's not clearly not the front office because they keep making these very good deals.
No.
They should have KD right now. But it's Robert Sarver. And until that changes, they will always not win the title. They're cursed.
I mean, look, the reason they don't have KD is because of Ben Simmons, but.
And them not signing DeAndre to the max deal, which they could have done at the beginning of the season. Because you still would have been able to just do the sign and trade, make the Pacers deal, get KD right now. We talked about it 2 episodes ago. We talked about it mad episodes ago when they fronted on him the first time. When we asked if he should get max money.
And the moral of the story is we're pretty much talking about the same situation when it comes to just about any Suns teams that you can even think about, bro.
Yeah, it was always Robert Sarver. Anytime they got right, they had 7 seconds or less. The 3-headed monster with Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, and Isaiah.
Nah, even before that.
All
even
that.
before
I'm just thinking
that.
of recent history. You know what I'm saying?
Even honestly, just the Suns franchise in general, bro.
Look at the level of talent they've had, especially guard-wise.
They've only
That
made
they
it
just
to one final.
that they just managed to blow, son. And that's only because the 3 main options on that team were we can do this. And you had an elite player. And then,
well,
son,
first of all, I don't know how many Hall of Famers they've had, but right now I can name 3. Yeah, 3. But point is, the Suns have been one of the more historical franchises, but they've always just been one of those they're popular, but they don't do shit.
yeah. And it sucks to see them really actually be a contender, especially since not that long ago they was butt. Despite
that's
Robert,
always their story.
despite Robert Sarver,
That's
they
always their
make
story.
it happen.
They suck, then they're contenders, then they suck, then they're contenders, then they suck.
So
Point
yeah,
is, D Booker needs to get the fuck off the Suns.
yeah. Before they corrupt him. But he extended, no? So it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. He made a lot of money.
Unless he demands a trade.
Does he have a player option? I believe he does. Pretty sure he does.
At this point, anybody that has one of those big ass contracts has a fucking.
That's automatic, especially for a man of his talent.
Yeah.
I mean, some teams
like-
are funny, and they're team option or nothing, so.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they extended his rookie deal. I think he just really read up.
No, they paid him.
Yeah.
They paid that man. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know, man. Anything else rattling around fantasy league? Oh, fuck. I meant to bring this up a couple minutes ago because I wanted to talk about Donovan Mitchell briefly. Because we talked about him a couple episodes ago because the deals are still floating around. Yesterday, 2 days ago? Yesterday, the offer of RJ Barrett and 2 firsts, right? Was offered and they turned it down?
Because they extended RJ yesterday.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, RJ's got extended for $120.
Damn, that's a lot. I get it.
No,
But-
the fuck it is not.
No, for what you're getting and for what.
No, it is not. Son.
Unless they fucking dumbly do the sign and trade, they won't. But
No, they just extended his rookie deal.
okay, so yeah, he's staying. I think they just threw that feeler out there to see if they'd bite. But
No, they did the right fucking thing. They extended him for a bargain. Now, if he becomes an all-star this season and stays an all-star, then he's clearly outplayed that contract, and then we have to talk about other things. But
I mean, what we really could talk about is what he wants to do, which is he wants to be the captain of the team. I like players like that. You need to keep players like that.
I don't know about him being the captain because
I'm just saying he wants it. You don't see anyone else in the team who really wants it.
He wants to be the best player, not the captain. Again, this is me being a Knicks fan, and not even just.
Well, before you elaborate, like, how do you feel about that deal? Even though it's a dumb one, would you have taken that?
No, it's not.
Would you have amended that?
It's not a dumb deal.
I'm not talking about his extension. I'm talking about to Utah.
Oh, with Donovan?
Yeah, to get Donovan, RJ, and 2 firsts.
I mean, look, if you asking me as an actual Knicks fan, I don't want Donovan.
There we go. That's not. It's not so much the answer I wanted, but it's exactly where I wanted you to go. So is Donovan Mitchell a superstar?
No.
I have
no.
Good. I have seen people post on Twitter talking about how he's a top 25 player, this, and that. He's a superstar, whatever. And I was like, is he?
No, his name is being it's being convoluted within the realm of all these trades and like transactions that are going on. But the reality is we're just caught up in this era of names and just, I don't want to say flashy shit. I won't never call Donovan Mitchell a flashy player or just, he's not somebody I wouldn't want to trade for. He's just not somebody I would want to build around. So therefore, he's not a franchise player.
Therefore, not a superstar.
Neither one of them, neither him nor Rudy Gobert. I never considered either one of them franchise players. Those two are secondary players. All-stars, yeah, but not superstars.
If you're Utah, do you blow it up?
They have no choice.
So why not take the sweetheart deal and just wipe the slate clean and get a really good player and 2 picks, which they need picks right now. I mean, they got 5 for Rudy, but like, you know, they can use that as trade material, shit like that, you know.
Well, because ultimately they know they're not going to get that same deal. Because they know nobody's going to be stupid enough to really do that shit again. And look, well, you know what? Let me not say that. For Donovan, somebody will be stupid enough to do that. It probably won't be a team that Donovan wants to go to.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm proud to say, like, as a Knicks fan, we won't do that.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't. I was worried that they would do a deal like this and really force it through and really trade RJ because his name is all you hear. When his and Obi's is the only names you hear at this point in deals involving us.
And those are the 2 names that I would keep.
Me too. I don't even know. And I get it. You want to, you know, just see, you know, if they bite. But no. Like, why?
Do
like,
not get rid of Obi. Don't do that shit, bro. RJ and Obi, like, they're really the 2 that you really should and could build around. Bro.
And need to develop.
Yes.
Especially since it's not going to be long before Fournier contract come off the books. Some of these contracts come off the books. You really go out and sign decent players to build around these guys.
Because we have Fournier, we have Evan for like 2 more years.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's halfway through that big ass contract he cashed out on. So
no, look,
those are gonna go very fast.
I'm
you know
cool
what
with
I'm saying?
Evan. I like Evan.
I'm not saying I dislike him. I'm just saying that it seems like they are more thirsty to trade away the future than guys that we could legitimately get rid of and won't be hurt by missing. Would I like Evan to say? Sure. I think he's a reliable player at this point, especially at the 2, which is an underutilized position in the league. But
Evan is a tweener.
Yeah, but he's best at the 2. Like he mauls.
All day.
He mauls smaller guards. Like, he just shoot right over the top of them, or they foul him, and he's an excellent free throw shooter. So.
And look, like this last year, him playing with the Knicks, that's the best I've ever seen him fucking play. So. Honestly speaking.
And he seems to want to be here, which, you know, is important. You know, you need players of that talent level to want to stay.
Like I said, boy,
it's not just a stop, you know, on your journeyman
I like having
career.
that French connection. So.
You know?
Well, the real French connection, man, Frank.
In the ether, so.
And, you know, I gave Frank a chance, but...
He's another. I wanted him to succeed so much. Because he seemed like such a nice guy, good player. You know, got better. Not much better, but better. And I feel like they just kind of took a hard pass on him. Like,
you know what? He never really concentrated and focused in on what he really should have been good on doing, which was playing defense.
Yeah, like really making it elite.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
level.
Had he done that, he probably would have done a little bit more, but, you know, Phil Jackson fucked him up.
He's still in the league.
He is, but nobody's talking about him, and nobody cares.
Still in the league. I mean, that's more than better players than him can say. So.
And that's scooped up brother Markeith.
Yes, talked about this in group chat. Great.
The only Morris brother that has a championship. Speaking of that Lakers team.
Good pickup for them.
No, great pickup.
You need, speaking of tweeners, you need a guy like that.
And they don't have anybody that, like, can, first of all, play...
He can play both forward positions.
For them, he can play, like, power forward and center. He definitely gives them some D. And he gives them, like, that... He kind of gives them, like, a younger version of your man LaMarcus, where he could be that tweener, that 4, that 5, play a little D and then stretch for a little 3 if they need him to do that, and just give them pretty much what they didn't have, son, at all.
And just a body, because they were fucking, you know, they were suffering, you know, were there for a little bit.
He's giving them what they haven't had since they blew the team up for...
And it's a nice replacement for Bruce Brown, as I mentioned last episode or 2 episodes ago.
And all you had to do was just re-sign the man, but whatever.
But it's a good, like, I feel like that really hurt them more than they realized. Great pickup for Denver.
Oh, last year.
By
this
the way,
year,
but
no. Last year, yeah.
Just a solid guard. Like, he's just solid everywhere. He's a player that they needed him to stay. And he realized the fuckery and got the fuck out of there. I don't know if Denver is going to be it for him, but we'll see. You know, he'll at least get to play because, you know, one he's going to get hurt. So, and Will Barton's gone now, so he's going to get minutes.
Because I don't think Royce isn't going to play guard for them. So they probably, they definitely need like at least another guard, but I mean,
unless they go with the Michael Porter Jr. big lineup that they like to play sometimes now that he's back.
Nah, I'm talking about the Nets right now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
the Nuggets.
Fuck the Nuggets.
I keep telling you, bro, the Nuggets aren't going to do shit, bro. They aren't. They just aren't. Like, for whatever reason, that team just doesn't do shit. So no matter how talented they are, they just won't figure it out, bro. And the whack part is, the closest they'll ever get is probably when, like, the Joker is probably not able to fucking do shit for them. So.
Yeah, or just the similar situations they've been in, where this nigga is putting up 2K numbers, and it won't matter because the personnel around him can't convert.
Averaging 30 and 15.
You know?
Crazy. No, averaging what? 30, 15, like 6.
Like 6. At some points, 8. This nigga's wilding.
And none of that's going to mean a fucking thing.
You know, and blocks, his defense is much improved. He's much more mobile. Like, he just keeps getting better and better.
And Denver has always been that team, bro. He's mad talented, but will never do shit.
And, you know, plagued by injury. Do you blow that team up? I guess is that the episode title? Do you blow that up?
I can't even say that, bro, because again, since like at least 1985, bro, the Denver Nuggets have had a fucking talented team that won't ever do shit, son. Ever. Like, really, ever, son.
that leads me to an interesting
Oh
question.
shit! Not even that, bro. Since the ABA, son, they have always had a talented fucking team that just won't ever fucking. The Denver Nuggets have never made the fucking finals, bro. And how many Hall of Famers do they have?
A lot. At least 6.
Yeah, you can say at least 6.
At least.
At least.
It makes me think of 2 things, but I'm gonna save the second question because I've already. I feel like I've asked it in a previous episode, so maybe it's just a thing we'll bring back. In terms of if you could combine teams, what teams would those be? Because the league often talks about parity and how they seek to make that work and how they seek to make sure that the power in the league is very evenly distributed. But I feel like certain teams should just be wiped out or sent out elsewhere. So I'm just going to keep it simple. 3 teams that you wipe out of the league right now. I know it makes it uneven, but since you have the play-in tournament, that kind of helps things with that.
It's not teams that I would wipe out.
3 teams that you wipe out.
That I would relocate. I'm definitely sending the Kings to Seattle
to fulfill their destiny, their long-awaited destiny.
All day. I'm definitely sending another team to St. Louis. What team would that be?
What team is that?
The Pelicans. New Orleans. I mean, look.
Is it B.I. or Tatum that's from that area, St. Louis? It's Tatum.
No, Tatum. He's from St. Louis. Actually, I don't know what B.I. is from.
I don't remember.
Because St. Louis, that's a sports town and sports city, man. Being a true basketball historian, fuck Utah. No, I'm sending. We get whatever.
So New Orleans Jazz, bring back New Orleans
all
Jazz.
All day, baby. New Orleans Jazz.
New Orleans Jazz. So the Pelicans to where again?
St. Louis.
St. Louis Pelicans.
We'll switch that name up.
Whatever that is,
We'll switch whatever that franchise.
Minneapolis
is.
Pelicans, whatever. We'll figure it out.
St. Louis.
St. Louis Pelicans. So yeah. This discussion made me think of a lot of interesting things and alterations to the league, but we gotta land this thing. I think we're right at our usual mark. Tune in about a month or so.
We'll call it 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Well, we to give you a peek behind the curtain. We got episodes in the can already. This being one of them. Now that we finished it. So we'll pretty much still be on schedule, more or less.
We'll.
You just need some guests though. That's the hunt right there.
We have another outlet in Florida, so that's why we're cutting this cast now because
it's time to get shaken.
Out.
Let them know where they can find you real quick.
They can find me these next couple of weeks. I can find me out in Pensacola Beach.
And me, you're gonna find me on Twitter as usual. I'll see y'all when we see y'all.
That's us.
Peace,
Let's
niggas.
do it, baby.